Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is General Dreams. So today I'm going to try to put a GMRS radio, and I have over here somewhere I have a Uniden CV. I also have a little handheld VHS. So I want to get the mobile ones both mounted right up in this area here without interfering with being able to remove the gun out of the rack. So I've got these little clamps here. I still got to finish tightening them up. I'm playing with this idea. I was thinking if I put a clamp on each side, then I could take a flat bar and bolt through there however wide I need, and then that would give me something to mount the radios to like that, and they'd be up out of the way. And then I was also thinking that maybe when I'm doing all this, maybe I'd bring something across here, maybe now, maybe later, I don't know, and I can have additional switches or whatever, because I've got to run power up here anyway for the radios. So I might as well have accessory power up here too for some things, because I've only got one more slot in the dash to put a switch. I was considering moving the winch switch over here next to the key, just because it's at night, you know, you can bump that and then your winch should be hanging, but I've actually not really had a problem with that, so I probably won't mess with it. And all my switches are different. That annoys me a little, but I don't know if it annoys me enough to change it. So I could also put a couple switches over here, or I could get one of those switch pads at some point that has the 6 or 9 or 12, whichever one you get. I don't remember. There's a bunch of different brands that make them like that, you know, where you can punch all the deals and it's got the relays on a flat panel. That would be the cleanest. But Switch Pro, I think, is one name. I don't know. Like I said, there's a bunch of different names. But even if I was to get one of those, I could possibly mount it up here. The only downside is then you have all the wires that you got to run down here. There is a hole in the cage to run wires. Like on the passenger side, there's already wires that go in there. So I could possibly do that. Run some wires down that to get them where I need to, and then have a bunch of stuff here. Anyway, I'm rambling now. The main goal of this is to figure out how to mount these. I was thinking about that radio over on that side, and the CB right here on this side. Maybe like this, but I'm afraid that's gonna interfere with getting the gun out, so I might turn it sideways. I can still see the number and do the adjustments. So more than likely I'll turn it sideways like that, and then I could take part of that microphone cord and I can strap it up to the plastics up above, because I don't want that thing hanging in my face. Have enough of it up there that when the mic is hooked, it's not dangling in my face. So you see guys on semi trucks, and they got their microphones, their CBs up here, and they got like a little bungee cord that's on the thing, and you can grab it, you can pull it down and talk, and it all stretches out, and when you hook it back up, it still swings up out of the way, so you don't have that dangly cord. So there's a couple of reasons I want to go up here. One, when there's background noise, I can't hear real good. So if the radios are up here, the speakers are on the bottom of both of them. So hopefully I won't need to add an external speaker, because they'll be right there. Another reason is just when you're washing the machine and servicing and stuff, sometimes you do a little hosing in here. It's real easy to stay away from the roof up here, because these radios aren't, you know, rated to be hosed on, especially the CB. So that's one of the driving forces to up there. And I'd like to get a mount here on the dash somewhere at some point to be able to put my tablet, because when I'm out in the woods, in the wilderness, I like to have my tablet running with a map on it, and then I also have the map on the ride command running, because I like all the gadgets. So if I'm able to, I thought it would be nice to be able to hang this radio up there also. So it's got this clip mount, so I might be able to just run the flat bar that I'm going to use for mounting these, maybe run it out a little bit longer, at least for now, and then I can just clip this over it and it'd be right up there, and when I get out I can grab it, take it with me. And I also have the Rhino GMRS, you know, maybe I could put that up there. These can also sit on the dash and all that, but I won't need to listen to this when I'm driving because I'll have the mobile unit, but I'll want this when I'm out and about. So I guess I can just put that in my pocket and leave it there. Anyway, this will probably be a multi-part video because I am definitely not going to get this all done today. I'm going to tighten these up. I'll figure out how long a bar I need. I have some miscellaneous flat bars here that I might mock it up with. But ultimately, I'd like to do it in aluminum, try to keep everything light. So, I'm going to set this camera down and see what I got. Try to figure up something here, tighten these things up, and go from there. Okay, so I went ahead and got this plate mounted in here. So this spot right here, I had this piece of rubber. It was coming all the way out where you see the silicone. And I got a hole in the steel. So when I'd slide my orange radio, was a UHF radio over that, the idea was to go over that and the end of the clip would go in there. There's no way for it to move at all. Well, when the rubber came all the way out to here, the clip didn't close correctly. So I trimmed a little bit off. And, I mean, it's crooked line and everything, but this is all experimental. And it worked out really well. I put that in there so the rubber keeps it from rattling, and it stayed right there. Doesn't move, no matter what you do. Then over here, the CB's mounted, and the microphone runs up over the top. And I can pull this off, pull it down, talk on that, put it back up there, nothing falls off, everything's nice. And then over here is the GMRS radio, and that is going... The mic is routed over this bar that goes up and is connected to my rifle rack. So I found myself driving along, holding on to this just kind of for a different position, and then you're ready. When I needed to talk to someone, I just key up and talk. I didn't necessarily pull that down. So that worked pretty good. So when you're sitting here, most of the time, I can hear out of that. Now, sometimes I'd be like, what? But most of the time I was able to hear pretty good. So we got that, and then we have all this real estate left over here for whatever I might want to do. So I'm going to run it like this for a little while longer and see what I want to change. I'm sure I'll want to add, and as you can see here, I got wires just temporarily run down. Power cord is just hanging right now, plugged into the power outlet. So eventually what I will do is I'll run wires back across there and all nice and neat, and down here, maybe through this hole down here, and hook it up to the panel under the hood. and probably have a whole assortment of power available up here. And I believe I mentioned earlier, maybe I might put some switches up here. Maybe I'll put some other power ports. So it worked out pretty good in the first trial. So we'll see what happens when I do something a little rougher, like, you know, say I'm at the dunes, ripping around, see if any of this stuff moves, because this is all in here. I have no intention on removing it for events or anything like that. It would be there at all times. The rifle rack be up here at all times, and this be here at all times. Once I'm satisfied with it and I really like the design and there's nothing else I want to change, this will probably get changed out for a piece of aluminum just to make it lighter. But who knows? It might be one of those projects you never get to. But I definitely will want to run the wiring around, run the antennas around. So the CB antenna mounted to the pod mount that I built for the front. So that's pretty close. But that's in there. I hit some trees, I hit some stuff, and this style of antenna just absorbs it. So it works out really well. And then the GMRS antenna, right now, this plate is too thick for the mount for this. So I took the mount that came with this, cut it off, and just bolted it on there and put it like that. I'd like to clean that up at some point, but it works great the way it is. And like I say, I got it down below the roof line, so you hit stuff and I don't have to worry about it breaking off. So all in all, it works out pretty well. I'm liking my setup, and as I go down the road, I think I'll just improve it and make it better and better. If anyone's got any questions or comments, feel free to put them below. I hope this was helpful for someone, and we will catch you on the next one. Have a good one.